Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Pete's CD Vinyl World. Today I wanted to jump on a vinyl tag started by Ron Haggerty. His channel is Ron Haggerty Vinyl Sanctuary, and he's on his way to 1,000 subscribers. So he came up with 10 questions for everyone to answer, and so let's get started. First one is a one-off band. So I am picking a band called Manitoba's Wild Kingdom. Not sure if anyone's heard of this band, but I believe this came out in '89 or 1990. So this was a band started by Handsome Dick Manitoba, who was in the '70s sort of punk hardcore band, The Dictators. It also has Ross the Boss from Manowar on here. It's sort of like if you remember that guy Andrew WK who was out in the early 2000s with that Party Hard song. It's almost like the precursor to that. It's a short album. It's about 25 or 30 minutes. Good solid rock and roll, not punkish hardcore, but they only released one album. I remember having this on cassette back in the day, and I really loved it at the time, so I finally found a copy of it. So that's my one-off band. Actually, I don't know. Maybe you know. I've looked it up. I don't think they've ever released another album under this name, at least. Next one, number two, Two of a Kind. Two albums, bands, song titles that have the same name. This was looked around, so I'm going to do Yes, Union. Album title is Union. And the band Union. This is a mid-90s band, or actually 98. Band consisted of John Corabi from Motley Crue, Bruce Kulick from just got out of Kiss after they had reunited with the original lineup. So they made a couple albums. They're really good if you ever track them down. Band that took 3 albums to click. I forgot which one he did. I think he did Judas Priest, which I didn't catch it totally, but I didn't know if he meant it took them 3 albums and the 4th album clicked, or the 3rd album is where they click. So I'm picking a band that their 3rd album really clicked as far as what the band became and what they sounded like, and that's Queensryche. It's their 3rd. It's not their 3rd full-length album. It's their 3rd release. They had an EP, and The Warning was their first full-length album. This is their 2nd full-length album. The Warning was still more of Iron Maiden type metal, had hints of what they would become, but this is their first one where they have the progressive elements in there. So this is my favorite album from Queensryche, and one of my favorite albums ever. 4 in a row, 4 perfect albums in a row. It's funny he came up with this question because I am going to start doing some videos where, and Chris Profrey had done this previously. I don't think he's still doing it, but bands that had 3 albums in a row that were great. So I should be doing some of those videos soon. But his was 4 great albums in a row, and of course I had to do the cliche Led Zeppelin, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my favorite Led Zeppelin album, so it's obviously my favorite out of the 4. So, at Led Zeppelin 3. Number 5 was Fifth Dimension, or Space Related, etc. So I picked here, this is called Starfleet Project. It was a one-off EP headed by Brian May of Queen, but also features Eddie Van Halen on it. And the song Starfleet was actually a theme for, I think, a Japanese sci-fi cartoon, or maybe it was like an semi-animated show. I've never seen it, but the second side has like a 10-12 minute song, which is just basically Eddie and Brian going back and forth and soloing. So this is kind of a cool release because Eddie Van Halen really didn't do much outside of Van Halen, so this is one of the few things he did. So. Number 6, 6-member band. I did the same one as Ron did because I I had some bands that were more than 6 members, or I couldn't find one. So right off the bat, I just picked Iron Maiden with the lineup that Janak Gers was. He remained in the lineup after Adrian Smith came back, so they had 3 guitar players. This is the Wicker Man 12-inch single from the Brave New World album. So that was my pick. Number 7, an album title song band with God in the title. And I went with My God off of Aqualung from Jethro Tull. Unity. Song title, whatever, about unity. So I picked this, The Baby's Union Jacks. It's actually a song, Union Jack, on here. So I picked that. Number 9, album with last to feature a member of the band. Could have went the easy way on these. But I went with Yngwie Malmsteen, Marching Out. So Scott Soto was the original singer with Yngwie. He sang on the first 2 albums. The first one is primarily instrumental, but this is the first album he did with a lot of vocals on it. He left after this. Kind of feel he should have stuck with him, because Jeff Scott Soto is still one of the best hard rock metal vocalists out there. And he's never really found a home that has put him into the prominence. So I kind of feel like they should have stuck together. X Factor, any song, artist, blah 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 with X in it. This was kind of a tough one, but I did X-Ray Eyes off of Kiss Dynasty. This was kind of their it's known as their disco album because of I Was Made for Loving You, but it's not really a disco album. The only other song that even comes close to having any disco-ish music is Dirty Living. But I can understand that this was the band that had turned off their fans. I mean, if you were 16, 17 years old in 77, 2 years later, they come out with this, and you've already moved on to like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, Motorhead. This is probably the last thing you wanted to hear. And then after this, they came out with Unmasked, and that definitely sealed the coffin for them. But that was my X Factor. So go check out Ron Haggerty's channel, Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary, and wish him good luck going for 1,000 subscribers. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.